What's up, everybody? It's me, Angel, and I was driving in my car on my way to the store with the baby, and you know, I was just feeling a little down from last night and like this morning. And let me tell you something: when you're feeling some kind of way and you're like trying to make a decision or something like that, I promise you, the enemy knows who to send you to take you away, to take your mind away, or to keep you in these thoughts, or to try to advise you to do something else. And let me tell you what I mean. Let's look at like Mark 8:33, when Jesus was talking to the disciples and he was telling them and predicting his death. And he was telling them like, hey, I'm gonna, be ridiculed and killed, and after 3 days I'll rise again. This is just in short. Please go and read it for yourself. So important that you do. And so yeah, he predicts his death, and Peter is like, basically saying like, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. That's never gonna happen. And you know what Jesus said to him? Jesus was like, get behind me, Satan. And basically, even though Peter had good intentions, he was going against the direct will of God. But he meant it, in a good way. Like, he just wanted to protect Jesus. He loved Jesus. But that wasn't God's will. And the enemy was able to use him to try to speak and to get things to go about in a different way. We also kind of see this like with Jonah. When Jonah was on the boat and the storm was going around, he told the men on the boat like, hey, this is my fault. Throw me into the water. And they were like, no, we're not going to throw you into the water. Like, why would we do that? Like, you'll die if we do that. And that was them trying to look out for him. But what he really needed to do was to surrender to God. So I know I've been kind of like babbling, so let me get to the point. My point is, sometimes when you're feeling down, or when you're faced with a decision, or something's happening in your life, the enemy will send someone to fuel the hurt, to fuel the depression, to fuel the anxiety. He'll bring people in that might even love you. It could come from your mother, your sister, a best friend, acquaintance, whoever, even a stranger. Y'all, it can even come through a Facebook video or Instagram video or whatever the case may be. It could be a picture that you see online that just kind of fuels those things that you're feeling, even though you know that that's probably not really the way it should go. But you're seeing things that are reinforcing this, and you automatically think like, well, that might be the right thing. But let me tell you, several times in the Bible, we see what other people thinks is the right thing is really not the will of God. So you really need to get yourself to a place of peace, a place of worship. Get yourself in prayer so that you can really hear from God on what it is that you need to do, on the decision that you need to make, about what your next steps are, any of that. Because I promise y'all, like, the enemy comes to kill, he comes to steal, and he comes to destroy. And he will use the people around you. He will use all of his resources to see to your demise. Like, you really have to resist the enemy and let him flee from you. And a lot of times, people that love you, that have the best intentions, man, you have to remember that our minds and our thought processes are extremely flawed because we're human, right? And we have this sin battle going on. So you can't count on someone else's advice 100% of the time. The only person that you can really depend on and rely on, and guess what, I'm not going to say is yourself, because you let yourself down. I've let myself down. We're going to let ourselves down. The only being that you can completely trust to never leave you, being that you can trust, is God. Like, he's gonna take care of you. So like I said, get yourself into a place of peace. Get yourself to a place where you're worshiping and you're surrendering yourself over, so that you're able to think clearly. And I promise you, when you do that, you'll know exactly what to do about your situation. Like, it'll be so clear to you, and you have to hold on to that. You have to hold on to that despite what anybody else says. There are so many people, not even in the Bible, but throughout history, where people thought they were crazy and they changed the world, or they changed generations. So many people that had dreams, and everybody looked at them and said, hey, you should give up. And it made sense on paper why they should give up, but they didn't. And we look at them now and we look up to them. So I'm telling you this right now. Just because you see something online, or just because someone says something that goes against what you feel like you should be doing, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're right. Look, turn, and listen to God. Like, he will guide you if you allow him to. He will shelter you, and he will minister to your emotions, to your thoughts, to your hearts, and he will take care of you. So yeah, I just want to encourage y'all today, on this wonderful Monday, to just rely on God. That's it.